would you describe the word tenacity? Do you have any stories that could fit that description? I know that this is a word that you really don't hear every day. However, there is a lot of people out in this world that practice this every day to push through the grind to make sure that this is a way for them to reach their passion or their dream goal. Did you ever hear of that story of that ancient ruler that wanted to step down from royalty? But before he did that, he wanted to make sure that the kingdom was going to be taken care of. So he made this contest that he was going to find out who was going to be able to take care of the area and its people. I'm going to tell you the answer in a few minutes. I would like to get some housekeeping information done first. Hey, this is CZJ Cobwebs, and this is my writing channel. And I do different aspects of starting a brand from scratch. I have different playlists on this channel, so I hope you check them out. I have writing prompts, fictional, and writing sprint to a better health, which is journal writing. They're all for 5 minutes. There is new ones that come out every other Wednesday, whether it's a fictional or whether it's a journal writing, so I hope you check them out. I have frugal tips and self-care. I have establishment and restaurant reviews on here, me time videos and bird videos, and I just enjoy making these different videos to keep this place as positive as possible. So this video is a little bit different than all of my other videos, and I heard a word that I thought fits perfectly, and the word is tenacity. And honestly, you don't hear this word too much, but it's so powerful. So in the beginning of this video, I was talking about this ancient king that wanted someone to take over his kingdom. He wanted to retire. He was going to have this contest that he wanted to see who was going to be able to take over the reins for his people in his kingdom. Although normally it was just something simple, but he wanted to pizzazz it up a little bit, so he had this contest, right? So long story short, he narrowed it down to 3 men. He thought that these young men had the potential to be king. So what this king did was he gave each one of these men a seed. And he said to them, when I gather you here again, I want to see what you did with that seed. I want to see if you can get this to grow. The young men took the seed, plotted it into a flower pot, and made sure that they watered it, took care of it, gave it food, all 9 yards. And as the weeks went on, the young men would be called up again to be in front of the king, in front of the people, and he wanted to see what they did with that seed. Now, standing in front of everyone to make sure how of this process works, right? This honestly could be a historical event. The king called up each man to the throne, looking at their seed. He wanted to see how these men made out with the seed that they were given. The young man, number 1, had a beautiful flower in his potted plant. He was so proud of himself. He made it out that it had a beautiful fragrance, and the flower was so immaculate. Young man number 2 had a plant that was more made of sticks. He had something growing, but he wasn't sure if this was going to impress the king. Now, the young man number 3 had nothing in his flower pot. He was so discouraged. He couldn't get it to grow. He kept up making sure that this plant was trying to grow. He was trying to get it to grow. He put all kinds of stuff on it, couldn't get it to grow. He really got frustrated because he knew that he wasn't going to win this contest. But he wanted to be royalty. Each one of these men wanted to be royalty. This is something that he really wanted, but honestly, he had the evidence in front of him, and he could completely understand why he wouldn't get the position to be king. If he couldn't even get a plant right and grow a plant right, How is he going to do a kingdom? When the king got back to the podium to forecast the winner and what he felt the need would be for a good candidate for his little tribe or his kingdom. I'm going to stop there right now. Who do you think the king picked? Can you comment that down below? After all of those answers are tallied, let me continue on with my story. Surprised by his actions, the three men stood there before the king. They wanted to know who was going to take the next set of reins. As the king looked at all of the different flower pots, he has now made his decision. As the king explained the different concepts of what you would have to do to fill this position, he finally got to the point of who he picked. And the young man that he picked was number 3. This young man was shocked. Never in a million years did he ever think that he would be the one to get accepted. All the other people were shocked also. What was the king doing? Why was he making such a decision like this? The king explained to his people why that he picked number 3 over the other 2 men. The king said, I have given 3 young men a seed, and I told them to grow it. What I failed to mention is I gave them a dead seed. There is no way that you could have grown flowers or sticks. The young man stood his ground when he even knew he felt defeated. He worked on this the whole time. This is a kind of king that I want for my tribe. Minutes later, number 3 was now crowned and he was able to take over after the king. This is a great story about the hobby that you're in. I know that this is a hobby and not an instant gratification. With a lot of hard work, perseverance, patience, you can really succeed at this. So, in other words, keep writing and keep pushing. If you like these videos and you want to see more of these videos, by all means, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that post notification button so you can stay on top of all the different things that I post. And till the next time, love you bunches!